On LBC earlier on, listening to that was Julia Lo Bue-Said, CEO of Advantage Travel Partnership, a global leisure and business travel network representing over 700 independent travel agents. So you're probably not a fan of what I just said at the beginning there, Julia.
There are personal reasons why you've made those choices, and I think we have to always respect in this world of divisiveness that COVID has created. I think we have to respect everyone's personal choice.
So tell me what you want the government to do in this instance, because this parliamentary group is saying still express caution, still discourage travel. What do you want the government to do? What do you want the government's position on this to be?
Yeah, I think the reality is, Julia, I think for everything that we are looking at now, and even in the Global Travel Task Force report, which was pulled together a couple of weeks ago, it's all about caution. It really is about opening cautiously. International travel, hopefully we get the green light on the 17th of May. That's just for England, obviously not the developed nations, but for England at the moment. It's still a very cautious approach because it is exceptionally complex, and none of us want to go back 10 steps. And we all want to make sure that in moving forward and unlocking now, international travel plays a key part of that rollout, but we can do so in a safe manner, mitigating the risks as we go along.
But presumably, even though we might have a view of a particular country and say nobody from there can come and we urge people not to travel there, in another airport in another country that may be, I don't know, a different destination, or it may be an airport that you've got an exchange flight in, that you can't control what's going on in that airport, can you, with the best one in the world?
No, you can't. And, that's why I say we have to reopen cautiously. In terms of the measures that the government have set out in the Global Travel Task Force report, it does look at actually a cautious reopening to ensure that we don't get ourselves into a position where we're importing variants. And obviously, as part of that it's looking at the data. And I think one of the things that the government have made it clear, certainly to industry, it's never about data, it's always about data. So we have to follow that, and we have to follow the scientists' advice with that. And as you quite rightly pointed out at the start, travel's not just about, holidays, and it actually, as an industry, it gets quite frustrating when that's all we associate it with. Families, individual businesses clearly rely on travel as a means of operating.
Also, even if it is just about travel, I mean, just because I was thinking about this morning, just because I have quite a sort of small c conservative approach at the moment to doing things, doesn't mean everybody else should. And it doesn't mean that, somebody who really craves, I don't know, a villa and a pool for 2 weeks because they've been working their backsides off in a hospital for a year or something. Who am I, who are you, who is anybody to say to them, you simply can't do that?
Well, clearly, this is where I agree. I do think actually from a let's just talk about holidays for a second. From a holiday perspective, we've become a very judgmental society, and the government have become very judgmental. So I take complete umbrage from a business perspective with the judgmental approach we have. If people want to take a holiday, if I want to go to the pub and have a couple of pints in the evening, nobody should judge me for that. And I think we have become very judgmental. Absolutely. And I think also, the report that's come out today, and there have been several APPG reports, all with very different views, that, it is very one-dimensional. It's very one-sided. There does not appear to be a holistic view that's been taken. And as I said, when we reopen, all being well on the 17th of May for England, it is on a very cautious approach. We are not unlocking international travel. It is only the start, and a very, very small start in what will be a very complex manner of reopening.
Thank you, Julia. Good to talk to you. Julia Lo Bue-Said, CEO of Advantage Travel Partnership.